Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and this is the Midyear update for 2024. Let's get rolling. I don't have anything to show you in this video, so I'm going to put a bunch of graphics on the screen, I hope. But today I just kind of want to give you a rundown of games that I have on order, or that I plan on ordering, or that I've got my eye on, or just what else is going on with the channel. So first are a couple games that I just received, but I don't really know the timing off the top of my head for when those videos are going to come out, so I'll just run through them real quick. I did back on Kickstarter a campaign for The Last Lighthouse, which is a button shy game, which is like an 18 card game that fits in a little wallet, and that's kind of their shtick. So I ordered The Last Lighthouse, and with it, I also ordered Food Chain Island and The Ugly Griffin Inn. And all these are pretty cool, so I plan on playing them. In particular, I've got... I plan on playing them on the channel. I've played them plenty on my own already. And The Last Lighthouse came with a couple like mini expansions as well. For like it had 3 different additional starting sort of setups. So I'll probably try and play a video where I do all 3 of those. But these are all cool and super quick and like amazingly portable. They are solo only. But I got these and I'm happy with them. I don't know that I need a ton more of these games, but like I'm really glad that I have these. They're super cool. I also recently picked up A Gentle Rain. I filmed an unboxing for it the other day. I feel like that video was a little off, sorry. But there's like not a lot of stuff in here either. It's not like a normal unboxing for me. I have not played it yet. I intend after I film this to play it for the first time and do a solo playthrough video for that. I always put this box on backwards though. I don't know why, but it does bother me. I do feel like there's these things need to line up the right way. I have a problem. And then I also recently picked up Scythe. So I did an unboxing for this the same day that I did my unboxing for A Gentle Rain. And then I played it over the weekend. And then I just now refilmed like an extension to the reboxing video because I did like I was a little frazzled. I did a weird unboxing the first time, so I rectified it in a second video. But this game's super cool. Like I said, I've played it once. I'm really looking forward to playing the campaign. I have not played the solo mode yet because my one playthrough was with a friend, so it was a 2-player. But I'm really pleased with this. I'm looking forward to playing it more, and I'm hoping to get this on the channel as well. Like, I don't know why I waited so long to get this game, but now that I've got it, I'm really happy with it. So it's a good fit for me. All right, next up, let's talk about a game that straddles the line between games I have and games I don't have, and that is Anachrony. So again, I'm going to release this first week of June or July, but I'm filming this in mid-June 2024. If you remember, all the way back in October of 23, I did my Voidfall unboxing, and when I ordered Voidfall, I also ordered Anachrony, and I have all of everything. I have everything that comes with Anachrony, all the expansions, and all the like extra resources and nice resin pieces, things like that. But I have not played it, and indeed I have not even opened it yet. This is still in the shrink because when I received it, Mind Clash was out of stock on the big box, which is the same as the Infinity box. And to date, I have still not received it. And I want to film an unboxing of the whole thing together where I put it all in the big box at the end. So all of this stuff is still in the shrink, and I have not played it. I think I'm going to love this game. I'm just real pleased with everything that I've gotten from Mind Clash so far, which I guess is just Voidfall, but they've been super cool. Like they're really responsive to the community. I've gotten to talk to some of the folks over at Mind Clash. They're decent people. So really, really, really looking forward to this. I think I'm going to give it the Voidfall treatment on this channel. And by that I mean there's a ton of modules for this game, and I've read the rule books, like I've looked it all up before, and like some of them can be played together, some of them can't, and I think there's maybe a little confusion around it. So I want to do a bunch of rules refresher videos where I kind of explain each of the modules one at a time and how they work and what you can use them with. So I think I'm going to make a lot of content around Anachrony, but I have the game. I'm just waiting on the big box. I'm hoping I'll get it this month or, this month, June, or July at the latest. That's my hope, but I don't know. I haven't gotten an update from Mindclash since February, I think, which is fine. I think that no news is probably good news. But as soon as I get it, I will film the unboxing, and then you can expect more Anachrony content to come. All right, so next, sometime in July or August, I expect to get the expansions that I kickstarted for Terraforming Mars. And that, for my order, includes 4 new maps, and I got the regular chipboard foldable maps. So I'm looking forward to those maps. And one of the 4 is like a larger Mars with more hexes, so that you can play with the larger player counts. Like if you play with 5 people, it changes the ground game a little bit. I think that one includes additional ocean tiles as well. So that's pretty interesting. So I've got the maps coming. There's also some modular milestones and awards, so you can mix and match what they are between the maps. And I'm sure there's different rules, or at least fan-made variants on how you can maybe draft those, or maybe just pick randomly. I don't know, but that's really cool. I'd like to use those, which makes sense because I bought them. Also, I ordered, which was like the main point of this campaign, I believe, was Prelude 2, which is just more Prelude cards as well as more project cards that I think specifically aim to have cross expansion functionality. So like a certain card might require both Venus Next and Turmoil, and interact with both of those. Like, for every Venus tag you have, do something with your delegates. I don't know. Those are the 2 expansions I don't have, so good example. But I do really love the Colonies expansion, and so I'm glad to just get more content for that and more project cards. And finally, with that order is the Terraforming Mars Atoma. And so it's a new solo mode for Terraforming Mars that emulates having an opponent, as opposed to just trying to terraform it under a certain number of generations. Like you've got an opponent who's also competing for milestones and awards. And I think that's really cool. That's designed by Nick Shaw and David Turtzi. And David Turtzi is one of the co-designers behind Voidfall and the main designer behind Anachrony. I've gotten to talk to him a little bit. He's super cool. He does great work. He does a lot of work, but I'm looking forward to this Terraforming Mars expansion that he's worked on. So then in August of 24, I'm expecting or we're hoping for delivery of, I've got 2 things coming. One is an expansion to the Night Cage, and that is called Shrieking Hollow. And it adds a cool little sideboard where when you fall into a pit, you can fall into this other board, and there's this giant creature that tries to crawl out of the pit. And if it gets out, it eats half your board. It looks wild. And it also includes some of the promo content that I previously got a hold of that I was lucky enough to get, which was, what was it? The Endbringer and the Pathbreakers and one other thing. Light Eaters, maybe? I don't know. There are a few other monster tiles, and so those should be included in the expansion as well. So that's pretty cool, and you'll definitely see it on here once I've got it. And if I remember correctly, all of the expansion content should fit in the base game box, so that makes me happy too. And the other game I'm hoping to receive in August is Endeavor Deep Sea. That was the first game I ever backed that was not fully funded already. The first thing I ever backed was Voidfall, but that was the late pledge, and I did that a couple times. But then last year I finally backed something that wasn't funded. That scared me a little, but it's Endeavor Deep Sea, where you go around diving through the ocean, and you're exploring and doing research and generally trying to conserve the ocean. It looks really cool. I think it can be played solo, competitive, and co-op if memory serves, but it's been over a year since I was really looking at it. Endeavor is a series, and I have never played any of the games in that series, but it seems to be pretty well regarded. And this one it looked really cool to me. I'm like I said, I've forgotten some of the details, but I was really excited by it. And in particular, it's got a game trace storage made out of Bagasse. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Bagasse. But it's way more eco-friendly than plastic. So I hope that is super functional. I hope it works really well. And I hope it's a big hit. That could be a push for the industry to maybe do more things like that. which I think would be great. Next, we've got for September of 2024, I've got a few things coming. One of them is tentatively Planet Unknown. That's been pushed back a couple times, but right now I think it's maybe September. Planet Unknown is a space exploration themed polyomino game. So you're laying tiles that are different little funny shapes, and you're trying to sort of cover this planet and you're exploring it. And I've got the new expansion that they released with it as well called Supermoon. So I think each planet can also have like a big moon that you also do some side stuff on. But the only polyomino game that I've got right now in my collection is Patchwork. We are big Patchwork fans in this house. It's super cool, but there's not like a good, I don't know, maybe there is a good one player variant. I haven't played one. I kind of like it as a 2-player experience though. But I wanted another game that I can maybe play solo. And so it's Planet Unknown. It's really highly rated on Board Game Geek. I think it's in the top 200. And it's got this lazy Susan that goes in the middle. It holds all the tiles. And like part of your turn is you spin this lazy Susan, and you take a piece from whichever's facing you, but then each other player takes a piece from whichever part is close to them. So that's like a limited form of interaction. That's kind of neat. Maybe a little gimmicky, but I think it's cool. And then also, as far as I know, in September, I'm looking at getting Undaunted 2200 Callisto. I have not played anything in the Undaunted series. Again, it seems to be pretty well regarded, but it's typically been a World War II theme. And that's not really my jam. But this one, if you can't tell from the title, takes place in 2200 on Callisto. So that's more my speed. And it looks like it's got a few differences from some of the other games in the Undaunted series. Like it's not a square tile map. It looks like it's just 4 chipboard maps, or two double-sided chipboards that are kind of preset maps. But I don't know a lot else about it. But I do know this is another solo mode that involves David Turtsey, so that's a selling point for me. And that one wasn't a crowdfunding one. I pre-ordered it from a game store. And then also when I received that game, I got another game called Shamans, which I've been really interested in for a long time. I guess I could unbox it on this channel, but you're not going to see me play it because it's a 3 to 5 player game, and it involves a degree of social deduction. So I can't imagine having an automa or like an AI way to play it like a solo variant. And like trick-taking games are not usually something I'm especially interested in, but this one just looked really cool mechanically. It's just got bluffing and different abilities. I don't know. I think it's a really interesting sounding rule set, and there's not a lot of info on it out there. It's not like a wildly popular game, but I wanted to grab it because I thought it sounded really cool. So I grabbed it just to order it with Undaunted, so they arrived together. Next up, in October, I expect to receive Tiny Epic Game of Thrones. I have not played any of the games in the Tiny Epic Game series, but there's a gajillion of them. I've looked at Tiny Epic Galaxies a number of times, and my local game store always has the expansion for it, but not the original. But I've got like plenty of like actual Epic Galaxy, Epic Space games, so I don't know if I need a tiny one necessarily. But Tiny Epic Game of Thrones sounds cool. I was a big fan of the television series, so I like the story and the lore. I think it's pretty cool. I think it'll be fun to play. What's cool about this, so I got some Kickstarter exclusive content as well, which normally I'm not a fan of. Kickstarter exclusive stuff, just like make things available. But it's the Ice and Fire expansion. So what this allows is the base game itself can be played competitive, multiplayer, or competitive solo. There's an AI you can play against. And then the expansion allows for a co-op game where instead of everybody fighting over the Iron Throne, you're fighting the White Walkers. And so you can play the co-op multiplayer or solo as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. And you'll definitely see it played on this channel. And then fingers crossed, just in time for the end of the year in December, I've got, I think, 2 games coming. One of them is Earthborne Rangers. That was a pretty big hit previously, and so I'm getting on board with that with this expansion coming out called Legacy of the Ancestors. And I, included in it the Stewards of the Valley, like mini expansion as well, and probably a bunch of other junk that I didn't need. I got player mats and some meeple tokens and goodness knows what else. But it's one of 2 games on this list today that has a very like Zelda Breath of the Wild type feel to it. And I think a lot of media claims to be inspired by Breath of the Wild or have a Breath of the Wild feel, but this one I think is true. But it's a campaign style, card driven RPG, I guess. Like, I think it's similar to the Zelda game. Like, I hate to make that comparison, but I think it's probably true. And so you're kind of going through this post apocalypse where humans sort of engineered genetically and otherwise the world to avert climate catastrophe and ecosystem collapse. And in the meantime, they kind of retreated, I don't know where, underground, we'll say. And now they're kind of venturing back to the surface and everything is thriving, but very, alien in feel. And you're playing like a new ranger and you're trying to get a feel for this landscape and help people through it. And you're, I don't know, kind of like a park ranger, I guess, but in this wild alien Earth. So it sounds super awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And also, at the end of the year, I should be receiving my copy of Under Our Sun, which is a game from a new publisher called Tabletopper Games. And this one is this one's just post-apocalyptic, not post-post. So I guess it takes place before Earthborne Rangers. But something catastrophic has happened to the sun, and it's super unpredictable, but mostly super hot now. And so the world is sort of a desert, and you need to explore and craft things and try and survive, basically. So it's sort of a desert feel, and it uses hex tiles that you reveal as you go. So you explore a little bit, and you need to sort of ration your water and your energy. You can hide from the sun during the day and move around at night, but then there's different monsters or threats at nighttime that you got to watch out for. So I think there's 7 or 8 scenarios that you can set up and play, something like that. It's a semi-co-op game by default. I think it's kind of like Nemesis. You can play solo or full co-op or semi-co-op, and I think they recommend semi-co-op where there's a trader mechanic. But I think it's really cool. I think there's a ton of potential to come out later with campaign style expansion for this game, and if they don't do one, then I'll probably do a fan made one because I think it's just ripe for it. I think it's really awesome. So looking forward to Under Our Sun as well. So that's 2024. I've got 2 more games on order that are coming in 2025. I guess technically like 5, but 2 orders. One game which is set to fulfill in May of 2025. I have no idea why it's that far out. It's called Bouba Kiki. It has nothing to do with anything I do on this channel. It's a party game, which again are generally not my jam. There's a few really good ones out there. I think if you change up the prompts, Telestrations can be an awesome party game. I recommend like Cards Against Humanity as the prompts. I've had a blast doing that. And then, Just One is another party game that I really like. But Bouba Kiki, I bought it because I saw it on the crowdfunding countdown on Board Game Geek, and it only had like a few hours left. But as soon as I saw it, like I'm familiar with this Bouba Kiki effect. But if you're not, there's these, I'll put them up on the screen. There's these 2 symbols. And so you tell me which one is Bouba and which one is Kiki. And if you are like most people, you said Bouba was the sort of swirly blobby one and Kiki was the sharp one. And so it's this well-studied phenomenon between the sound of words and like a visual depiction of those sounds that seems to be somewhat universal. So in this party game, they play with that mechanic where they give you a few made up words or a couple syllables smashed together, and then they give you 3 pictures, and people I think vote on which picture goes with this word. And I believe it's a cooperative style game, like you're trying to everybody's trying to agree, and you're trying to, I think one person each round tries to guess what everybody else is going to say. So it was pretty simple mechanics, which makes sense for a party game. But like I just thought that was a really cool idea for a game, and it was not like super expensive. So I'll probably unbox it on this channel, but you're not going to see me play it because it doesn't make sense for what I'm doing here. And then still on order, expected, I think in July of 25, is the entire Perseverance series by Mindclash. So that's actually 4 different games that have a campaign that you can play all the way through them, which I think is called Chronicles mode. So Perseverance, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, each of those is its own standalone game that you can just take off the shelf and play, but they're all themed on dinosaurs on a mysterious deserted island, maybe a little like the television show Lost in its theme and premise. I'm guessing. I never actually watched Lost, but that's how it seems to me. So I think those games are going to be awesome as well. So I'll get those middle of next year. And then I want to shout out real quick some games that I don't have on order, but I would like to, or I plan to. So first is a Mass Effect board game that is slated to come out by the end of this year. That is called Mass Effect the Board Game Priority Hagalaz. I hope I said that right. There's no official release date yet, but I think it's supposed to come out before holiday season, so probably October, November. And I think it's going to be in like the $50 to $75 range. But I am a huge, huge fan of the Mass Effect video games, both the original trilogy and the fourth game, the Mass Effect Andromeda game, which probably an unpopular opinion. There's a lot of opinions out there, but I like all of those games. I think they're all great. And so to get to see those characters again in board game form, I'm really excited for it. So I plan to get that. I just haven't seen it available for pre-order yet. Also, when I ordered some of the components for Scythe, I also ordered the metal coins for Vantage, which are currently available to get, but Vantage is not coming out until 2025. This is by Stonemaier Games. This one is explicitly inspired by Breath of the Wild, among other things. But this is a card game with just a massive box of cards. There's like 800 or 900 cards in the box, and some of them are either double-sided or like you can flip them one way or the other. So there's like effectively like 15 or 1600 cards, something like that. And the premise is you crash land on an alien planet and you just need to like find your way around. You explore the planet, maybe you try and get to safety or get off the planet, and each player starts in a different place, and so each place is just represented by a card, and the card has some information about where you are and some, like a panoramic picture of this is what's around you, and you just decide, what do I want to do here, or what direction do I want to walk? And I think it's pretty cool because you can actually, from anywhere you start, you can continue to walk in one direction and you will circumnavigate the globe. You will eventually come back to where you started no matter which way you go. So that's really cool, super impressive. There's going to be tons of artwork, and I'm pretty impressed with Scythe now that I've got it and I've played it once. The components are awesome quality. Like the game was really fun. So I'm glad I grabbed those metal coins too, because now I'm pretty committed to getting Vantage whenever that comes out sometime next year. I've got high expectations for that. And I think they'll be met. So I'm excited for Vantage. And the last game I want to mention here is City of Six Moons. This one is wild. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's just such a wacky and cool idea. So it's described as an alien civilization game in two respects. One, it's like a civilization, building game, which you might be familiar with the concept of, where you're exploring and expanding and building your empire, but it's in this case an alien empire. But also, it's an alien civilization game in the respect that it comes from an alien civilization. That's the premise. So the only thing is the title, City of Six Moons, and it's like a rough translation. And so the rule book is all in alien glyphs that you have to kind of decode. And, you don't even know if the pages are in the right order. Like you got to figure out how to decode the book. And it specifically says that the designer will never answer any questions about the rules or gameplay. And so you will never know if you're playing it right. You just have to kind of figure out what is this game and how do you play it and how do you, what's the objective, and that like just figuring that out is part of the game. That's a big part, like maybe most of the game is just solving the puzzle of what is this game. So I think that's super wild. I think it's just really fun. That's cool. I think the components will be pretty minimalist, and that's fine. I think that's a really neat idea. So I don't know when that's coming out, but when it does, I think I'd like to grab it. It's just a very cool idea. Beyond those games, there's a couple other things I'd like to mention. One is if you like Voidfall, which I know a lot of my subscribers do, and if you like playing it solo, you're definitely going to want to just keep track of this channel. I've got some cool stuff for solo Voidfall going on in the background, and you'll find out more about it later. And when it's time to know, you'll know. But I just wanted to tease that. The other thing is 2024. This is going to be the first year I go to Gen Con. I've never been to Gen Con before. It's the biggest board game convention in North America. It's in Indianapolis every year. So I'm going to go there for a couple days. I'm really excited to check that out. Never been to Gen Con, so I'm looking forward to going and talking with some people, playing some games, and maybe picking up a couple of them too. So that's exciting. So if you got any Gen Con tips for a first timer, let me know. Other than that, we're less than 18 months into running this channel, and at time of recording, we're really hovering around that 400 subscriber mark, which is good. I'd like to keep that growing. I've got a goal of 1,000 plus in mind, and I'd like to get there as soon as I can. because that's when I can maybe start making a couple bucks off this, which would be cool. Because so far I've lost a couple thousand, and I would like to make a couple. I'm not allowed to get a new camera for this channel until I make enough money to buy it. So I'm using this camcorder from like 2012, which was like state of the art back then. It had a touchscreen, and that was like a new thing. But I would really like to get something that allows you to see better what the heck is going on. And I'd like a lot of people do it now on these type of channels, like a side table with a green screen on it, so I can hold up a card and really zoom in on it. I tried to do things like that early on this channel, and it was just way too much editing, and it was just a pain with the camcorder and old webcam that I'm working with. So I would like to do that, but that's going to take some income. If you want to help me get there a little sooner, don't forget I have a Ko-fi page. That's ko-fi. The link is in the description for all my videos, and you can just head there and throw me a couple bucks if that's something you want to do. This channel does not have a Patreon, and at this time I don't plan on doing one because I don't really like the exclusive content model. Whatever content I make, I want it to be free, and I want it to be for everyone. So I just want to rely on donations from people who are happy with the channel, want to see it grow, and have the ability to make such a donation. I'm not looking to spread anybody thin. But if you like the channel and you can't make a donation, no worries. Feel free to share my videos with others, though, to see if you can get some people to subscribe if you think they would like the content. And as always, if there's specific content you would like, let me know. I try my best to fill all the requests that I think I can do a good job on. So for those of you who have given me requests like that, keep them coming. I appreciate it, and I hope you're happy with the results. So that's what I've got. This is my mid-2024 update. I'll do another one of these right around the new year. And in the meantime, I hope you have an awesome second half of 2024. Thank you so much for watching Table for One. I'll see you in the next video.